Mga otoridad ang iligal na pagpuputol ng puno.
Sa grupo, malaking kontribusyon sa climate warming emissions ang kawalan ng kagubatan.
Ang Mountain Province, tumambad ang mga pinutol na puno.
Ay kinalaman ng pagbaha sa pagkakaingin sa kabundukan.
Yan, narinig nyo, no? Talagang kaliwat kanan yung pagputol ng puno.
Alam niyo ba na 2/3 o higit kalahati ng tropical rainforest sa mundo ang nasira o lumalala ng kondisyon dahil sa human activities?
Deforestation is the persistent clearing of forested land throughout history, and into modern times, forests have been raised to make space for agriculture and animal grazing, and to obtain wood for fuel, manufacturing, and construction. Today, the greatest amount of deforestation is occurring in tropical rainforests, aided by extensive road construction into regions that were once almost inaccessible. Building or upgrading roads into forests makes them more accessible for exploitation. Slush and burn agriculture is a big contributor to deforestation in the tropics. With this agricultural method, farmers burn large swaths of forest, allowing the ash to fertilize the land for crops. The land is only fertile for a few years, however, after which the farmers move on to repeat the process elsewhere. Tropical forests are also cleared to make way for logging, cattle ranching, and oil palm and rubber tree plantations. It is a serious problem affecting many countries worldwide. The Philippines is no exception. The country is home to a vast array of unique flora and fauna, but deforestation has put many of these species at risk of extinction. Over the years, the Philippines government has implemented various programs and initiatives to combat deforestation and promote reforestation, but the battle is still ongoing. Deforestation can result in more carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere. That is because trees take in carbon dioxide from the air for photosynthesis, and carbon is locked chemically in their wood. When trees are burned, this carbon returns to the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. With fewer trees around to take in the carbon dioxide, this greenhouse gas accumulates in the atmosphere and accelerates global warming.
Deforestation also threatens the world's biodiversity. Tropical forests are home to great numbers of animals and plant species. When forests are logged or burnt, it can drive many of those species into extinction. Some scientists say we're already in the midst of mass extinction episode. More immediately, the loss of trees from a forest can leave soil more prone to erosion. This causes the remaining plants to become more vulnerable to fire, as the forest shifts from being a closed, moist environment to an open, dry one. Large-scale tree cutting can lead to deforestation, the transformation of an area from forest to terrain with little vegetation. Plants create oxygen and absorb greenhouse gases. The destruction of trees may encourage global warming. Changing temperatures can alter which organisms can survive in an ecosystem. Despite the progress made by the Philippines in its battle against deforestation, many challenges remain. One of the biggest challenges is illegal logging, which is a major problem in the country. Illegal logging contributes to deforestation and leads to the loss of biodiversity, soil erosion, and water pollution. Another challenge the Philippines faces is converting forest into agricultural land. With a rapidly growing population and a need to feed its citizens, the Philippines has seen increased forest conversion for agriculture. Unfortunately, this conversion often leads to unsustainable farming practices such as slash and burn agriculture, further contributing to deforestation. In Philippines, from 2001 to 2023, 20% of tree cover loss occurred in areas where the dominant drivers of loss resulted in deforestation. In Philippines, the top 11 regions were responsible for 52% of all tree cover loss between 2001 and 2023. Palawan had the most tree cover loss at 207 kHA compared to an average of 18.1 kHA. A forest is a complex ecological system in which trees are the dominant life form. A forest is nature's most efficient ecosystem with a high rate of photosynthesis, affecting both plant and animal systems in a series of complex organic relationships.
Forests can develop under various conditions, and the kind of soil, plant, and animal life differs according to the extremes of environmental influences. Forests are distinguished from each other according to species composition, which develops in part according to the age of the forest, the density of tree cover, soil types, and the geologic history of the forest region.
Trees give off oxygen that we need to breathe. Trees reduce the amount of stormwater runoff, which reduces erosion and pollution in our waterways, and may reduce the effects of flooding. Many species of wildfire depend on trees for habitat. Trees provide food, protection, and homes for many birds and mammals. Forests consist not only of living components or biotic, like trees, animals, plants, and other living things, but also of non-living components or abiotic, such as soil, water, air, and landforms. All of these components together make up a forest ecosystem. In analytical psychology, the forest represents femininity in the eyes of a young man, an unexplored realm full of unknown. It stands for the unconscious and its mysteries. The forest has great connection with the symbolism of the mother. It is a place where life thrives.
Deforestation weakens and degrades the soil. Forested soils are usually not only richer on organic matter, but also more resistant to erosion, bad weather, and extreme weather events. This happens mainly because roots help fix trees in the ground, and the sun blocking tree cover helps the soil to slowly dry out. As a result, deforestation will probably mean the soil will become increasingly fragile, leaving the area more vulnerable to natural disaster such as landslide and floods. Construction of human infrastructures has also been driving deforestation. More specifically, 10% of deforestation can be attributed to new infrastructures that serve the current human lifestyle in four main ways: transportation, transformation, and energy generation. Around the world, deforestation occurs mostly in the tropics where there are different types of forests, from wet and hot rainforests to other that lost their leaves in dry season and become woodlands. Some parts of the world have managed to protect their forests from deforestation, while others have been seen their forestal area decline.
Unconventional production practices that illegally take down trees and use dangerous chemicals threatens forest and wildfire. In this way, exploiting crops such as palm oil, wood, coffee, or avocados has side effects that affect the environment and the surrounding ecosystems. By destroying the forest, human activities are putting entire ecosystems in danger, creating natural imbalances, and putting life at threat.
Forests sustain our lives in so many ways, from the air we breathe, and the water we drink, to the food we eat, and the wood and paper products that we use every day. Over 1.6 billion people depend on forests for timber, food, fuel, jobs, and shelter, but all of us depend on forests in one way or the other. Forests are some of the richest areas for biodiversity on the globe. They provide a variety of habitats for plants, animals, and microorganisms. Forests provide an important regulating ecosystem service. They absorb and store carbon from the atmosphere, which helps to mitigate global warming.
Forests are the largest storehouses of carbon after the oceans, as they absorb this greenhouse gas from the air and lock it away above and below ground. So it is no surprise that when we cut down or damage our forest, we release huge amount of carbon emissions that contribute to the climate crisis. The natural world is complex, interconnected, and made of thousands of interdependencies and among other functions. Trees provide shade in colder temperatures for animals in smaller trees or vegetation which may not survive with the heat of direct sunlight. Besides, trees also feeding animals with their fruits while providing them with food and shelter they need to survive.